Willie, it's weird, right? Why would you go back to the scene? Why would you even want to go there?
Yeah, I just get the impression, just from everything we've learned about this family and about these two kids, that they're just extremely troubled.
Yeah.
And I tend to believe that the brother's trying to get attention. Like, I think he's intentionally trying to stir things up because he has so many problems.
Yeah. Well, if you look at his mugshot, he looks really, really angry at the world. Okay.
Well, he also just got arrested. So.
That is true. That is true. And they told him, bond wasn't going to be, it's not $100 bail. It's actually $500,000 bond. Crazy. All right. What do we have this weekend? A couple of doozies, it looks like, Willie.
Yeah, doozies is a good way to put it. I mean, I think doozy is how I would describe Pacific Rim Uprising, the most needless sequel that I can ever remember. How many people, do any of you remember the first Pacific Rim from like 5-6 years ago? Okay.
No.
I hated that movie. Right, exactly. No, it didn't stand out. It wasn't special. It wasn't something amazing. In this movie, they act as if the original was some epic masterpiece. It has all this grandeur about it. It doesn't have any of that. And now we kind of stumble across this world 10 years later, after everything that happened in the first one, after all the big monsters attacked the planet, and we meet the kid of one of the heroes of the first movie. That first movie, the hero played by Idris Elba. This time, his kid played by John Boyega, who a lot of people remember from Star Wars as Finn. And he's a little bit of a bad boy and a rebel, and he gets in trouble. And he's told he has a choice. He can go to jail, or he can do like his daddy did, and he can operate one of these big, massive robots that fights the monsters, just in case they might come back. And it's a sequel, so what do you think's going to happen?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, they put the monsters in the commercials, so it's not like that's a big surprise.
Mike says you needed 6 years to forget about how bad the original Pacific Rim was. Would you agree with that?
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's horribly written. It's trying to grab onto like any storyline it can, but doesn't actually commit and develop it. The comedy is just atrocious. It's not funny when it's trying to be funny. Even the robot fight scenes just look like rip-offs of the Transformers.
What do you give this blockbuster?
0 waffles.
Okay, I figured that was coming. And I'm not sure you're going to do any better on Sherlock Gnomes. Is this an animated film?
Yes, it is. And if you were ever wondering if Johnny Depp is broke, you just got your answer. He stars in Sherlock Gnomes.
Okay, before you do anything...
the mighty have fallen.
I was watching one of these programs, I don't know, over the holidays, and it was all about the people who were there and are no longer there financially. And he's one of them that they're saying is just doing whatever comes along because he's got to make money.
Yeah, he's got to make some money. He's in a big fight with his business managers and the people who are handling his money, saying that they lost all of it, and they're coming out and they're telling you about all the crazy things that he was buying. I mean, it's really not a good situation, and that's what leads to being the star of Sherlock Gnomes. I don't know what Michael Caine's excuse is. I don't know what James McAvoy's excuse is. I don't know what Emily Blunt's excuse is, but Johnny Depp, playing the Sherlock Gnomes, the gnome who's investigating why all the other gnomes are being kidnapped around London just as spring has arrived.
Oh, it sounds like the storyline alone makes me just want to get into that theater.
Yeah, it's compelling.
Oh, my God. It's got more gnome puns than any human being should ever have to put up with. It's got all the kiddie humor, all the potty humor. I'm giving it only half a waffle because at least it's short.
Okay, that's helpful. All right, and then there's two more that are out there, Unsane and Midnight Sun. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, Midnight Sun, that's that Bella Thorne movie where she's the teen girl who writes music, and she's allergic to the sun, and she finally meets a boy, but they can only go out at night, and she has to wonder if she'll ever be able to tell him the truth. I'm not a 12-year-old girl, so I didn't go see Midnight Sun. And then you throw in Unsane, which is kind of interesting. A woman on the run from a stalker who goes to get mental help, to see a therapist, and she gets put on a 24-hour suicide watch. and she thinks she's seen her stalker at the facility. Yeah, and that was kind of interesting because you're always wondering what's the truth. Is she really kind of hallucinating? Are the drugs getting to her, or is she really just kind of losing grip with reality? That was at least 2.5 waffles.
All right. And then, Willie, I want to make a brief transition. Last Sunday, the Syracuse big win over Michigan State. How many waffles did you give that one? It had to be a good 4.5.
Oh, my God. That's like a 4 waffle. I didn't think they were going to pull it off. Oh, my God.
How about what's going to happen tonight? I mean, in all reality, don't you think this is going to be a tough run for Cuse tonight?
Oh, it's going to be a horrible run. I knew they were in trouble. I heard Boeheim on an interview earlier this week. They said, how do you feel going up against Duke after they copied your 2-3 zone? And he's like,
Yeah, I watched that press conference, too. It was it's typical Boeheim, who slouched over the microphone with his hand holding up his head and with zero excitement whatsoever. It's kind of funny. So, all right, Willie, it's wafflemovies.com. Willie, you enjoy the weekend.
Hey, you too. I'll talk to you next week.
Thanks so much, Willie Waffle.